This is our large iron palm bag or large seizing bag. It's double wall thick canvas, 2 layers of 14 ounce and beefed up. This is filled full of pea gravel, about 10 to 12 millimeter smooth rock, and then a little bit of steel shot to kind of up the weight. This one weighs about 21 pounds. It's filled about 80% full, so you can go through and kind of grab it and get some of your different grip work. So when we start going through and looking at grip training, everyone wants to go through and get the captain's a crush and stuff like that. It's kind of a gateway drug. But when we go through and we look at how grip training applies to martial arts, being strong isn't enough. We need to get some endurance, we need to have some dexterity and kind of find a way to balance it out. So this old school way of training, these seizing bags, we see them in Kung Fu and China and stuff like that. So over the next little bit, we're going to show you some different options you can do with these. Stay tuned. If you're new to grip training, we train our grip a little bit different than we train some of the other muscles. Training your grip is almost a lot like training your calves. So if you go through and try to do low rep, really high weight, you'll have a tendency to kind of injure yourself. What we really want to do is get that higher volume so we can build up the strength in the actual phalanges, so the digits, or all those small bones, as well as the tendons. So we need to have volume. So we want to start with a bag that is lighter, and then kind of work up from there. So getting one of these, you're going to start out probably filling it with rice or chickpeas or soybeans or something like that, about 80% full. And then from there, once you want to add some weight, add some steel shot to it, and then kind of work your way up. The steel shot's nice because it'll fill in all the kind of gaps and stuff like that that's left by the soybeans, and then you can increase the weight. We want it to be about 80% full, so that when we grab a hold of it, we can actually get into it, and it's a little bit of a different shape. Where if we have something that's very hard, we're kind of limited with what we can do. We can't go through and get those claw types of structures, and it's kind of the same thing over and over. So we're going to get into some of the different grips and stuff like that that we can use for this large bag, and we'll take your grip training to the next level. Just remember, build up slowly over time. You want to go through and slowly work up so you're able to do, set of 50 on each hand consecutive, and then we can go through and add some weight from there. So the first grip that we're going to look at is our C grip. So I'm going to grab it on the side, and I'm just going to flip it. Now what's nice about doing this is I'm flicking my wrist back and I'm pulling my hand up. So I'm working from the fingertips all the way up to the shoulder, and I'm getting the back side of that forearm. So now we're going to look at what's called the joystick grip. So I'm going to grab with the bottom 3 fingers and the thumb. I grab over the corner, and I'm just going to toss it up, catch it. So in addition to hitting the smaller fingers, we also wind up hitting the bicep and the kind of whole arm, the shoulder, everything. So one of the nice things about these types of exercises is we hit the whole chain. So now we'll get into the cousin of the joystick grip, the udder grip. So we're going to go through and we're going to grab with the top 2 fingers, mainly in the thumb, kind of like we're milking a cow or a goat. We grab the corner as such. And again, we kind of start getting that pull straight up, so we're getting into the trap, a little bit of bicep, a little bit of shoulder. We start really kind of, with the joystick and the udder grip, starting to get into that precision of our grip as well as the strength. So now we're going to get into a pico grip or a bird beak grip. So we're going to bring all the thumb and the fingers together. I'm going to start on the corner as such, like the beak of a bird. There's a more challenging version of the pico grip or the bird beak grip where instead of grabbing on the ends or the edges, corners, we're going to grab on the center and get kind of more of a penetrative grip. Looks as such. So when I'm doing this, I'm going through and I'm bringing my fingertips together and not making a claw. So we're learning to get that more penetrative style grip. Folks, there's a lot more on the fingertips. It's a little bit more challenging. Start with the original version first. And with all of these, build up your volume slowly over time. Now we're going to get into the claw grip. Now there's tiger claws and eagle claws and leopard paws and dragon claws, all of it. We're just going to be doing a generic claw grip. We're going to just grab it and snatch it as such. I'm grabbing and flipping this and getting really deep into it, making a whole fist as deep as I can. Versus just the fingertip. Then we start getting to things where we can toss this up and hit it with that claw. And we can be a lot more aggressive. We start seeing that in some of the more traditional eagle claw, tiger claw, kung fu stuff. The question's going to come up, how often should I train this? How do I program it? Stuff like that. What I'm going to suggest is start with sets of 5 with each exercise with each hand. You don't even need to do them sequentially. You can go through and look at just switching from hand to hand, right? 5 on each side. Rest a little bit. Try your variations. Do that for a few weeks, a couple times a day. Let your tendons build up over time. And again, this one's 21 pounds. There's nothing wrong with you just taking this bag, filling up with rice or soybeans or dry peas, and just working at your own pace. I can't stress this enough. You cannot injure yourself fast enough. Okay, so we want to be doing that. And then in addition to it, it's highly suggested that you look at using like a dit that jiao, making sure that you're healing up your hands faster. And you can get that from Dr. Dale Dugas. You can get it from Dane Tobias out of Australia. We also want to make sure that we are having bone broth or collagen protein. If it's collagen protein, 10 to 20 grams a day. And it'll really, really help keep those tendons and joints strong and recovering well. Hope this all helps. Enjoy your bags.